I want to talk about artificial intelligence. But before I proceed, I need to introduce what artificial intelligence is to you and also talk about the Azure Artificial Intelligence Services. So the objectives of this class is for us to be able to describe artificial intelligence and how it compares to machine learning and data science. Also, we're going to describe Azure Artificial Intelligence Services. So what is artificial intelligence? This is the ability of a software to behave like human being. So what are the behaviors of human being? We can talk about visual perception, we can talk about text analysis, we can also talk about conversation, right? And also decision making. So when a software can behave this way, we can call it artificial intelligence. The comparison between data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence is, so let me just explain. Artificial intelligence is like intelligent software apps and agents, while machine learning use data and algorithms to train predictive models. Data science is like an application of mathematical and statistical techniques to analyze data. Engineers, so as a software engineer, you should be able to understand, you should have basic knowledge of coding. When I mean coding, C#, Python, and Node.js will be a good one. If you have knowledge on consuming APIs, which is REST or SDKs, you should have knowledge on DevOps, which is source control, continuous. Now I want to talk about considerations for responsible AI. The first one is, in Microsoft, or at Microsoft, AI software development is guided by a set of 6 principles. And what are these 6 principles? They are fairness, reliability, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. So first, let's talk about fairness. Fairness is fairness. It means that software should treat people all fairly. For example, suppose you create a machine learning model to support a loan approval application for a bank. The model should make predictions of whether or not the loan should be approved without incorporating any bias based on gender, ethnicity, or other factors that may result in an unfair advantage or disadvantage to specific groups of application. Azure machine learning includes the capability to interpret models and quantify the extent to which each feature of the data influences the model's prediction. This capability helps data scientists and developers identify and mitigate bias in the model. Number 2, reliability and safety. AI systems should perform reliably and safely. For example, consider an AI-based software system for an autonomous vehicle or a machine learning model that diagnoses patient symptoms and recommends prescriptions. Unreliability in this kind of system can result in substantial risk of human life. AI-based software application development must be subjected to rigorous testing and deployment management process to ensure that they work as expected before release. Then the number 3, which is privacy and security. AI systems should be secure and respect privacy. The machine learning models on which AI systems are based rely on large volumes of data, which may contain personal details that must be kept private. Even after the models are trained and the system is in production, it uses new data to make predictions or take actions that may be subject to privacy or security concern. And the 4th one, which is inclusiveness. AI systems should empower everyone and engage people. AI should bring benefit to all parts of society, regardless of physical ability, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, or other factors. And the 5th one, which is transparency. AI systems should be understandable. Users should be made fully aware of the purpose of the system, how it works, and what limitations may be expected. The last one, which is accountability. People should be accountable for AI systems. Designers and developers of AI-based solutions should work with a framework of governance and organizational principles that ensure the solution meets ethical and legal standards that are clearly defined. Azure Machine Learning is a cloud platform for creating and operating machine learning solutions, as you can see from the diagram. So if you have data and experiments deployed model, so from a user that does that, all these things is done on machine learning. And you also talk about Azure Artificial Intelligence Services. So these are prepackaged AI services you can integrate into your solutions, right? You can integrate AI solution of language AI solution. You can integrate speech, vision, or generatives. So for Azure AI Services, these are the things you can do: Azure AI Document Intelligence, Azure AI Language, Azure AI Vision, Azure OpenAI, Azure AI Search. So let's get started with AI services. So I think here we need to move to Azure platform. So let me just explain what we are going to do there, right? We need to use, so we are going to use our Azure subscription. Then we are going to create something on Azure, which you can either create either single service resource or multi-service resource, right? So multi-service resource, Azure AI Service access. So that one, we can use it to access multiple Azure AI service with a single key and endpoint. Consolidate billing from the services you use. For single service resource, for example language, we can access a single Azure AI service with a unique key and endpoint for each service created. We use the free tier to try out the service. So when we're talking about the endpoint keys and location, we will see all this when we get to the platform. So we're going to use REST API or SDKs. So let's get started with the class today. In this exercise, we will get started with Azure AI Services, by creating an Azure AI Services resource in Azure subscription and using it from a client application. Now, the goal of the exercise is not to gain expertise in any particular service, but rather to become familiar with a general pattern for provisioning and working with Azure AI Services as a developer. So first, we are going to clone the repository in Visual Studio Code. So I've actually cloned the repository that I will be using in this class to my local. So all I just want to do is to open the folder on my Visual Studio Code. Just a moment, I think it's somewhere here. Okay, iLab. So I'm going to be using SDK clients. So let me just pick this whole folder. Alright, so this is the source code that I'll be using. But before I come to the source code, I can just go to my portal. So we can decide to save this, then go to terminal. So we just want to run this. Let me put .NET add package Azure AI .text. Text analytics. Let me put version, say 5.3.0. Okay, so let me leave that. Then we can just say .NET run to see how this thing works. Run. Oh, good. So here we can now decide to put any language, and we expect this to give us the language name. Let's say I want to put our review. I hope this is correct. So it's telling me that as French. Let me say hasta la vista. I don't even know what that means, but I know. Oh, Spanish. All right. So let me just say goodbye. Oh, that's English. I think there's another one. Bonjour, or whatever. Oh, French. So this is just explaining this text analysis using the source code that I cloned from GitHub. So if you're interested in that source code and this exercise, you can just drop a comment. I'll share with you and you can practice. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.